And hi, we are back. I am still Krystian from Trace 5.
And I'm still Captain Nice, Belgian person living in Amsterdam.
That is absolutely correct, and we are back with the second game from the Belgian Nationals from the top cut. And we still have Jan on here. Jan kind of like always seems to be favoring those top cuts. He really likes sitting on those tables and hanging out there.
He seems to have a good time in them, and he does very well. So yeah.
So he will be playing against a player whose name I already promised I will butcher. I predicted that we were talking about this, and he's like, "Oh, no, it's spelled like this." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm sorry, I just can't." So this is a Rooeibot.
I will use my superior Dutch knowledge
Yes,
and tell you how it is pronounced. It's pronounced Rooeibot.
Rooeibot. Okay, I'm gonna try to pronounce it Rooeibot. Seems fine. Okay, so Rooeibot is going to be playing the potatoes. Which have been quite popular on this tournament, from what I figured.
It is a very strong deck, very strong Jinteki deck. Aside from Egg Infusion, I would say the strongest one. We didn't see any Egg Infusion today, I believe.
I did not see one myself, so I think this is the new hotness. So their players are still doing the mulligans and stuff like that. So of course, if you guys are doing the VOD kind of stuff, the Jan is playing the CI, so his card size is equal to the amount of credits he has in his pool. Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm done flipping through my programs here. This is a very, very experimental setup. All right, so it seems like there has been a mulligan and a Rooeibot. So it means rowboat.
It basically means rowboat. I don't know why he picked that particular username, but
and FFX also saying goodbye.
Yeah.
And so this is the mandatory draw now, and Rooeibot now installed the card and an ice in front of R&D and got a credit. Yeah, that seems fine.
That seems like a good way to start.
So this is the deck I've been playing today, and it's it didn't go so well, but I believe it's due to the pilot, not due to the deck.
No comment on that. Hayley starting out with that. Peace in our time. Very important to remember. You cannot run during the term that you play this, but she is not playing to, and she plays a Laguna.
Yeah, I believe also I misspoke. I introduced Jan as playing the CI, but of course he's playing the runner now, so he's been playing Hayley. So he can, when he installs something, he can install a second thing of that same type at the same time. He'd installed the Vagina. Oops. That's not what I'm on.
Keep it user-friendly, right?
Yes, I'm sorry, family-friendly. He installed a thing there, but he didn't install a second copy of that, so he kind of forfeited his identity on his turn.
But this is going to give him a lot of tempo. Very important against potatoes, because every time he spends a click on drawing a card, he'll get 2 cards, which in this matchup is extremely important. And also, he'll probably have the levy, which again is a very important card in this matchup.
And Rooeibot, is this Rooeibot? Rooeibot. At the end of the game, I might have learned it at some point. Rooeibot.
Take all the time you need.
Installed a remote server here, and so that's something I noticed. Like, it's very difficult with this potato deck, to deal with runners that won't run. Because a lot of the things that hurt the runners are related to running. So if they don't run, it's kind of like you have to somehow find ways of punishing them.
That's very true, but that's why he runs the shipment from Tenon. If to punish the runner indirectly by not running, he can install a card and then kind of bluff it. And then if the runner doesn't run it, he can use the shipment from Tenon to advance it twice for the cost of 1 click. Yeah. And he might even be able, I've seen it happen today, to play 2 shipment from Tenon and score a 5-3 in one turn by just never advancing it and installing it.
I indeed pulled it off today once and never again afterwards, but it is indeed a possibility.
It is a very risky play, but it might pay off at some point.
Something that, we see an artist colony here, so again, Jan is setting up here. I think the cards that are important for his game in this matchup is going to be the feedback filter if he has one.
Yeah, he definitely needs to draw on this rather sooner than later, and he needs to make sure that, because I've seen some corps, especially Jinteki once play Shattered Remains. Yeah. He has to be careful that he doesn't run into that, because feedback filter is going to be very important in this matchup. But even if it gets trashed, he can still recur it via Levy.
Of course, and of course he has the Sacrificial Construct as well, which I believe also works against hardware. So
it does also work against hardware.
So I think he has. This might be a good matchup for him if he just stays cool and gets the necessary core cards that he needs to win this game. If he gets them out.
That's true. I do find that with Jinteki matchups, it's not so much the deck that gives troubles, it's that a lot of runners will panic, or not so much panic, they will make misplays, because this is a very difficult deck to play against, and it like kind of forces you to make suboptimal plays, because you have to check stuff that you don't want to check, and maybe don't check stuff that you want to check, and this is definitely in the corp's favor.
So Rooeibot, is that
Rooeibot?
Yes,
You're getting there. Very nice.
Rooeibot is actually doing the right thing. That I think it's something I learned over the course of this tournament with this deck, which is to just install a lot of stuff to just get a board's presence finished here. If the runner's not going to run, then you can do whatever you want with the board state. And after you have like thousands of cards installed, it's going to be very difficult for the runner to check all of those remorse or anything. It's going to be impossible.
That's true, and Hayley at this point cannot really afford to be checking everything.
No.
It's also too dangerous. He doesn't have the feedback filter, so he's just gonna let it through, and this might actually allow him to kind of just sneak an agenda through, maybe a House of Knives if he's lucky.
Yeah, maybe.
Because that is going to give him a lot of tempo.
So the House of Knives are helping, absolutely. That's a pretty good score for potatoes here. But of course, if they're not running, then they're not going to do anything. But
that's true.
They're maybe going to punish the runner later on when the runner eventually starts running. So wait, what is that all the way to the left there?
I think that's a Citadel Sanctuary, actually.
Oh, wow. So that's maybe is that a damage prevention card?
It is damage prevention, right? But only against meat damage. So I don't know how relevant it will be against this matchup.
Maybe just like using his Hayley ability here or something.
Oh, is this a 5-3 that we're going?
That's what we're talking about.
I told you.
That's it. That's the good stuff. So 2 shipments from Tenon, and then scoring out the Obakata protocol.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the worst thing because he's still only at 3 points, but Hayley is getting punished here for not checking stuff earlier, and he's giving the Corp a little bit of a early advantage, but Hayley he wants to go check stuff later in the game, so this is fine for him. Like, he is still just building up. He's fine letting this go through. And also stealing an Obakata protocol is a huge tempo hit because he's gonna have to spend 4 cards to steal that. Because I don't think he runs Film Critic. He runs the Levy probably. So.
Yeah, that can be tough. Of course, he kind of like stresses out Jan a little bit here because he said like, oh, maybe I will win through agenda points. Of course, he's very far away from winning it through agenda points. The potato jack is not really good at scoring stuff, not really that great. But of course, 3-point is a good starting.
It is a very good starting point.
Yes. One thing I don't like about the 3-pointer is, of course, that it doesn't actually advance Rooeibot's game plan.
Very nice.
It doesn't even do any damage or anything. It's just a 3-point, just blank 3-point.
No, it's not so much him trying to like score out and trying to win the old-fashioned way. It's literally just trying to put pressure on Hayley, like, hey, I'm at 3 points. I'm almost halfway towards actually winning the game. So you're gonna have to start running soon. Yeah.
Something also we have to mention here. There's a hunting grounds here as well.
Hunting Grounds is going to be very good in this matchup as well. It's the best in the... Oh, he stalls in Femme Fatale. That's very interesting.
Blind Femme. Ooh, that's...
I don't know how I feel about this.
Oh, okay. He wants to make the remotes be able... He wants to be able to contest the remote.
I don't know how I feel about this play, honestly.
I'm not going to second guess Jan, though. He knows very
He knows what he's doing, but I don't know about this play. We'll see how it pays off.
Well, there's the one reason why I absolutely agree with this play is that he can actually use his beautiful Femme token here. That is one of my favorite things that FFG ever produced. They should produce more of those kinds.
Oh, and it pays off in this case.
It paid off, absolutely.
Getting the House of Knives is a very good score.
It's an expensive score here, but I think it's an important score, not so much because Jan will win with this. Of course, it also will help him later on winning. But of course, also he takes the House of Knives away from Rooeibot.
Yeah, and that is the big hit. And also now he will... I don't know his deck list by heart, but I definitely know that he will play at least one Scavenge. And Scavenge on Femme Fatale is definitely an amazing play later on in the game.
Delicious, yeah.
It is a good way to get past like very nasty eyes that PU plays.
Like, for example, Komainu, although he has the Hunting Grounds against the Komainu, so that's
Hunting Grounds like basically makes Komainu a blank ice that doesn't do anything.
Well, it's still good on R&D because the second time around you have to break it, but with Femme you can go through it once if you have to.
Exactly.
So there's of course some other really nasty ice that is really nice. Something like Miraju is really great with the Femme.
Yeah, that ice has also been putting in a lot of work today, and like any runner that is not able to bypass that ice has to make very suboptimal plays to be able to deal with it.
You have to leave HQ alone. You can't. You have troubles with doing indexing stuff. That kind of ice. It's so cheap, but it's so difficult to deal with it.
I've been seeing it in Corp decks outside of Jinteki just because it deals with a lot of multi-access. It deals with indexing.
Yeah.
It is just a very, very good ice in general, and very cheap too. It's only 2 credits to rest.
Absolutely right. So what is Rooeibot going to do? He's going to install another remote. That FEM remote is not interesting for him right now.
I don't see if he has any more ice in his hand. If he does, he might just install over the ice that got femmed.
Yeah, sure, why not?
But at this point, he might just be able to... I didn't see what he put down there.
Something we have to also mention is Rooeibot is really down on the credits. Like he's just 7 credits. That's not a lot. He cannot draw a lot of stuff.
No,
maybe
that's
a Combino and
not
that's it, right? And he, of course, the magical border, the magical edge here is 4 credits. So that problem has been solved.
That having been said, he's going to go up to 12 credits now.
But still, like he can't go below 4 credits because then, of course, the snare is no longer active. He won't be able to trigger a snare, and that would give Jan the ability to run on things. With with aggression, with more aggression, at least for a short time. Okay, so but freed in our time. Of course, we have to make sure that Jan doesn't run in this turn because
this has come up a few times during Piece of Her Time has become very popular in Hayley decks, and there have been a few players who were like, "Oh, I play Piece in Our Time as my first click, and then I decide to run this turn."
Public service announcement. You have to play it on your first click. You're not supposed to run on this thing anymore, and also you have to keep in mind that you can't play it if the corporation scored an agenda in the turn before. All of these three things, violating each one out of those 3 things, will net game loss in the worst case.
Very, very important to keep in mind. Like very hard triggers that you have to keep in mind. But I don't expect somebody like Jan to make some kind of rookie mistake like that.
Rooeibot is looking maybe at the information sifting here that Jan is playing.
He's kind of eyeing it a little bit suspiciously.
What is this?
I can't see his hand from here, but...
Blue cards? How do blue cards work? I don't even know why blue cards are in this game. Yeah, so information sifting is a tech that I've seen a lot against something like CI.
It is a very good card against CI. It also works against other cards, but it is definitely mainly tacked against CI and has been putting a lot of work in today, I know as well. Oh, he plays preemptive action.
Preemptive action to get back all of the cards that has been played, actually. So the 2 tenants are hot again, so he might be able to score another 3-pointer if you are lucky.
Also wanting to ticken up R&D a little bit because he knows Hayley is all about that R&D pressure, just wanting to make sure that there's a lot of nasty surprises in there and not too many agendas.
Absolutely. So if something I was really struggling with today with playing this potato deck was what to do with all the indexings, because the indexing, of course, pass by all of the nasty traps. They can fish out the agendas they need and even do something like Mad Dash or something to win quicker. So something you just really want to have is really, really good ice in front of R&D that kind of help with this. Miraju, as we mentioned previously, is a great one, but you have to draw into it.
Miraju is definitely the MVP in that case. Other ice that you can use in the Jinteki matchup, I wouldn't know. I'm not that much of a Jinteki player, honestly. I personally like Tollbooth, because Tollbooth also really works well against hunting grounds. They can use their hunting grounds once, but then after that, they still have to go through it and just pay the 3 credits like any other runner.
Of course, after now that Jackson is gone, it's going to be difficult. It's very difficult to deal with stuff like indexing.
Oh, we see a Kagugo.
Oh, there's a run on R&D and there's a Kaguo. Wow, it's kind of amazing that Jan is running in this situation. Will he break it, or will he just bounce off it?
Do we know what his barrier breaker is?
I would be like I saw 2 builds today, either a paperclip, or I also saw a lady.
He decides not to go through it, and he decides to run on HQ instead.
And then now's the moment of truth.
Is it a second Kagugo?
Will Rooeibot the rest, whatever was there? Yeah, he will. But wow, that's interesting.
It's not that amazing right now. It only does 1 net damage, I believe, because he is at 1 spare MU.
Yes, 1 net damage. It is a Cortex lock. You do as much damage as there is free MU. 1 free MU means 1 damage. Jan might take it, or he could still break it with a FEM, but it's quite expensive, I think.
It's quite expensive to boost it, and to break it, it would be 5 credits. in this position, he might actually choose just to take the 1 net damage instead.
But of course, it's potatoes. So potatoes' abilities, we forgot to mention this. Whenever you do at least 1 net damage, you also discard the top card from the heap. No, wait, no, stack.
From the stack, indeed. And if a good card gets hit that way, then that's very unfortunate. But he does play the levy. So even if it does get hit, he might be able to recur it. Except, of course, if the core plays Arc Lockdown, because then it might never come back.
Both players are taking their time right now.
Yeah. He's gonna pop his SMC.
Okay. He will be actually installing something. So he could install, of course, I saw the nanotech.
It will be at...
What?
He's gonna install a Sentry Breaker from hand, I presume.
Oh, right. So he's gonna fill actually his MU up, and then that ice does nothing anymore. That's
if
good.
he installs an SMC from hand now, there you go. So
nice.
That's a very good play. Cortex Lock apparently does nothing now.
So the Inti, of course, has no MU, right?
Inti does take up one MU.
Right, yes,
it's a 0-cost program.
Yes, no, never mind.
He has no spare MU now, so Cortex Lock is basically a blank ice, and he's gonna access a card.
I did the math wrong. It's very late, guys. I'm sorry.
You've also been playing yourself, of course.
Of course, yes.
We did see a voter intimidation there.
That's a good choice. I don't have this in my deck, and I would wish I had it because it's a really good thing to kind of like snipe things on the board that you don't like.
What kind of cards would you usually hit in that against a Hayley matchup?
I'm wondering myself, like what does Hayley splash that I don't like? Well, I saw, for example, something like biometric spoofing that would be a nice target.
That would be a good hit.
Also, maybe you could also take a good breaker like a Fem here.
And maybe the Bev as well, because the Bev gives him a lot of tempo in this matchup. Well, not right now because he's not a...
Wait, you have to play it on a card that is out of faction, right?
It has to be...
No, that's different.
No, that's true.
Confusing things.
The
voter intimidation is not enforcing loyalty.
Yeah,
it's a
enforcing
loyalty.
This just trashes any resource.
Any resource. So it's not on a breaker, but you could... Oh, the resource is great.
He might be able to trash either daily cost.
Okay, they're playing a Psy game and he wins the Psy game. What did he trash? The Velasco. Interesting that he trashes that.
It's a very expensive resource, so it's not a bad play.
I mean, usually the goal of potatoes is to deck people. So the Velasco is kind of playing into that thing, of course, but it does this in a very efficient way. Does draw in an efficient way, and that, of course, gives runners more freedom, more tempo to do other damage.
Indeed.
All right, so the Velasco is gone. The scene of the murder from the Terminal Directive campaign. It has been destroyed by Jinteki.
See, I'm totally not a Jinteki player at all, but I do think that flavor-wise, they have some of the best cards in the game, like Voter Intimidation, Zambitsu Loyalty, Enforcing Loyalty. They have very interesting cards.
Some really good stuff in there, yeah. And of course, they got some really amazing ice recently. There's some so good stuff, and of course we see one there with Kaguo, right?
Yeah. As a Sunny player myself, Kakugo is the bane of my existence because passing it by with security nexus doesn't do anything. I'll still take 1 net damage.
Even femming it doesn't do anything.
It doesn't do anything.
Inside job, nothing.
It arguably, I think, it's one of the best ice that came out in the past cycle. It is an absolutely amazing ice.
Very strong. The 2 Kaguya server and then Wakata protocol inside. It's going to be very difficult to deal with this. Whoa! He checks the random card there, and that's an Obakata protocol. That
I don't know. Why did he install that blank though?
Yeah, I do it all the time. Yeah, you of course nobody runs on random cards, except from Jan apparently.
And it pays off in this case.
Yeah,
he has to steal it though, right?
Yeah, I no rush though. Why?
Well, yeah, it's gonna stay there. And he can't score it next turn because he cannot play Shipment from Tenon.
Jan, I think, is just assessing his hand. Does he have some stuff on his hand that he wants?
He's gonna go for it,
and he decides that his hand is crappy enough to try to get this. Okay, so it's 4 damage now. He has to pay 4 net damage to steal it.
And the Mad Dash.
So far, no big deal. And Mad Dash is so nice, though. He could have just run again with the Mad Dash.
And 2 tap worms.
Actually, Mad Dash doesn't do anything anymore.
Oh, and the feedback filter got trashed.
That's big. That's huge, gigantic even. This is a big deal. But on the other hand, Jan is at 4 points. So he actually has to just score 1 3-pointer and he can win this game. So maybe he doesn't need the feedback filter. Let's see.
If he is able to draw up again and gets to a second Obokata protocol, that is game right there.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
that does take a bit of time, especially now with the district trashed. He has to spend a few clicks to draw up again.
Wow, but that run on this card out of nowhere, that was amazing. This could have been a snare, right?
This could very easily have been a snare. It could have been a random breach dome. It could have been... Is that a Ronin in his hand?
That's a Ronin. I know, yeah. Well, no, wait. Ronin didn't... Oh, yeah, it didn't rotate out. It's in a
No,
core
it's
set
in the
round.
new core set.
Yeah, oh, wow, that's a good...
I didn't see it. It looked like a Ronin,
That's
but
a
I'm
cool
not...
way to punish players that don't run. Yeah, that's 2 Ronins now.
Oh!
Oh my gosh.
Does he run Mushin too? This could become very interesting very soon.
And there's a
and
House
also
of
House of
Knives.
Knives.
Hopefully the guys don't hear us upstairs. The setup here is amazing. Use the 15-meter cable to be on a different floor than they are playing on right now. But let's see. Okay, so install something. Do you think that's a... I mean, he could safely install the House of Knives here right now.
I think he just installed the House of Knives. He trashed one of the Ronins. I did see that, which makes total sense. He has no use of 2 at this point, I think.
The feedback filter means to me that he can go like full tilt on trying to get a lot of net damage in, because the feedback filter, the arch enemy is gone. Hopefully he also plays, if he has room for it, because I play it, Arc Lockdown. And then that would mean bye-bye, Mr. Feedback Filter forever.
You don't find that the Arc Lockdown takes up a lot of your influence, because PU is a deck with only 12 influence.
That's true. But what else? What do you need? All the net damage just comes from Jinteki anyway, you know? So, actually, I'm playing 2 of them.
You even play 2. Oh, that's spicy.
Yeah, super spicy. And there's always good targets for it.
Runs on HQ, it's free anyway, so that makes sense.
All right, so yeah, it's a free access. Why not? Maybe you're gonna find something. You're gonna find the Ronins probably, right? Oh, this could be game right there. Oh man, he's actually rubbing his hands together, because if he wins the Psy game, he will win this game.
Winning of a Psy game is one of the best
Psy
feelings in the
game
world.
for the win. Well, it's also losing with a Psy game is also the worst.
It's one of the worst feelings in the world.
Oh, Jan. Does he have the Yomi? Or is Rooeibot the one who will get this? They have to guess 1, 0, 1, or 2 credits. If they guess the same amount, then the runner wins this. And if they have different amounts, then it's 1 versus 0.
That's very unfortunate. So, in this case, do you keep running HQ just in the hopes that you keep hitting the future perfect, or are you like, I'm gonna wait it out a little bit?
Can we appreciate Rooeibot's ballsiness of electing 0 in a Psy game for the win, where the runner always tends to go for 0 anyway, you know? Okay, so now Jan is like a shark. He has tasted the blood, and he knows where he needs to go in order to win this game.
He's gonna go for a random access again.
Yep.
He hits the shipper from 10.
Okay. And what else? Come on, guys. Oh, he just gets credits. Oh my gosh.
And he takes a credit, because there's never a bad time to take a credit.
Well, you think so? I think there's plenty of really bad times to take credits.
You don't want to run less click against Jinteki, though.
That is an excellent
there
point,
could
sir.
always be like a snare, especially without the feedback filter.
Absolutely.
And even if you have the feedback filter, you still take attack, and you don't want to take attack against Jinteki.
So yeah, what I'm absolutely expecting is Rooeibot installing something in front of HQ here, because this aggression won't stand.
Yeah, and that Cortex log does nothing for him at this point, so he's gonna install a different ice. He's gonna think about his next move.
So I think we see an Ico there, right? That was an Ico, I think.
Ike,
right?
Ike is a very good ice. It only costs 1 credit to rest, and it is extremely taxing.
Oh, another voter intimidation.
Oh.
He didn't have enough Psy games. We want to have more Psy games. What does he want to destroy?
It's all
now?
about the side games. Yeah, what does he trash at this point?
I don't know, man. Maybe he will trash the hunting grounds to kind of like pretend that there's something there that hunting grounds would be good against.
Kumainus?
Yeah. Because then maybe Jan will think it's a Kumaino, and then it will run, and then I don't know, the mind games.
He's going really low in credits though. He's had 2 credits now, like not accounting for the
10.
side game.
It's
10.
Oh, it's 10.
It's
Oh.
2 fivers. Oh, he wins the Psy. Oh my gosh. Jan won the Psy game.
Oh, that's big.
That's good. I have to ask Rooeibot afterwards what you want to target with this.
Fun, maybe.
No, it only works for resources.
Only resources.
Sorry.
Here's Marcellus already finished with his game. How did it go, Marcellus? Oh, Marcellus is still in the lower bracket. So there is an option for a Trace 5 finale here. Oh man, Rooeibot is not feeling the love right now. He's okay. There is the I key.
There's the I key.
So it's like 3 super tunes, and one of them is like really annoying. It's like you have to do a Psy game, and then it's a reverse Psy game, so to speak.
It does a Psy game, and depending on what you get, it will give you 2 cards, but only if you win if you don't win the Psy game.
Well, if the runner loses the Psy game, then they may draw 2 cards. No, they have to draw 2 cards.
Yeah. And then it also does 2 net damage afterwards. So it has, for 1 credit, you get 2 subroutines.
It's such a silly subroutine because nobody breaks the first subroutine and they always play the Psy game for 0/0 and then that's it.
I actually tend to pay 1 credit just to pay 1 credit for 2 cards, which is really good value.
Sometimes you can afford it. Sometimes when you have the credits, you can go 1.
In Nice Division, it actually becomes a credit making machine as well.
It was a 0/0, of course. Yes. Yeah, Nice Division. That thing is dope. But the funny thing is like because it's so reversed, everybody always goes has to read up.
Indeed. Oh, and there's 1 power reclamation.
Oh, so he can rest 1 power and then get rid of something and put it in archives and then
put it back into R&D. And this is one of the reasons that PU is so oppressive. It can just bury agendas like crazy, and like the runner has such a hard time getting to those agendas.
Yeah, so that's kind of like a mini Jackson going on here right now.
Mini Jackson. And it doesn't remove itself from game when it is trash, so you can keep recycling it.
Oh, another score from Jan. Oh my gosh, he must be really happy about this, but of course you want to see the other card. And that card is probably now under R&D. Okay, running on 1 power.
And he's gonna trash it, which makes sense.
But down to just 4 credits. Where is this worm? I saw. He has already trashed it.
2 of his stab worms got trashed when he stole the Obokata protocol.
Jesus Christ. This is tough. But of course, the question is, he has 3 cards on hand, right?
I didn't see, but I think so.
Gets credits.
There's an arc lockdown right
there. Yeah, there we go. I told you, man. I told you. So what would you remove now with your arc? Well, I gotta go with the feedback filter, right?
Yeah, in this case, I would go for the feedback filter.
But of course, Rooeibot, right?
Rooeibot.
Oh, my gosh, I love it. He's of course he has other problems now. Like where Jan can win with just 1 score. So,
I like this play. He puts Miraju in front of R&D, kind of just disrupting those indexing plays. Yeah. That's a really good play right there.
Really good, really solid. Seems like he might be stabilizing here right now. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that that House of Nice score is definitely good to deny the core some net damage, but it doesn't actually advance his game state.
Yeah.
Because he still needs to get a 3-pointer to win, or he needs to get if he gets another House of Nice, he still won't be any closer because the core only plays 2 1-pointer.
Well, he could do a mad dash on the Philotic Entanglement, but the 3-pointer is way more probable at this point. Okay. Alright, getting rid of... Oh, that's always hurtful against potatoes to overdraw and get rid of cards. That's those cards are your life, man. Of course, the strategy of potatoes is, of course, to get rid of the deck, to mill the runner. And when they're down to just 3 cards on their hand and nothing to draw from, then how are they going to score an Obokata protocol?
Yeah, it's really rough. In that case, you can even be you can be very blatant and very ballsy and just put down the Obokata protocol, double advance, and be like, well, you're never going to score this anyway, so I guess I'll just win next turn. And speaking of Obokata protocol, he has one in his hand right now.
There it is. So this is something that, of course, Jan wants to see, because that will win him the game. But Jan is, I think, looking for a solution for the I key.
He does have an indexing in his hand right now. He didn't see the Miraju, I think. So he might, if he feels ballsy, he might play it, but it's not actually going to win him any. It's not going to give him any points.
Oh, of course he has to solution for the IQ, whatever. He has the Guardian Blade. I'm sorry, I'm blind apparently. I'm going blind, guys.
It is a very nice alt art Guardian Blade.
It is beautiful. I also love the playmat. I always wonder, what woman is on this playmat?
I think she's from Media Blitz.
It's Media Blitz, but who is she?
Who is she? I have no idea. Might she be from one of the novels or something? I've
Maybe.
never read any of the novels from
I
Netrunner.
read them in my vacation recently. It might be the protagonist of Monitor, or it could be what's the Miranda Rhapsody herself.
Oh, okay.
Because she's in the posters on the background.
That might indeed be possible. Ooh, the Corp really overdrawn here. I don't know how I feel about that. Especially he just drew the Philotic, which is another way that that the runner might actually win the game at this point.
Yeah. Something I like is the Philotic entanglement. Like if Rooeibot can score this out, then that's going to be a lot of net damage for.
It's going to be a lot of net damage. He has 3 agendas and then 1 of fan side in his score area right now.
I mean, he can try it. Why not? Because
he might as well.
Because again, as we said, Jan, the 2 points won't give Jan a lot of advantage.
But he's at 5 right now.
Is he?
Yeah, he has the Obakata and the 2 House of Knives.
Oh, no.
And he's going for the indexing play, but he doesn't know that the Mirage.
Okay, so I'm not only blind, but actually math is failing me. Yeah. Absolutely.
So if he gets the Philotic, he actually wins.
Yeah, so the Philotic is actually not something that you want to install. So indexing is a very strong play right now. No Mirage or rest, of course. In the first run, you don't rest. Mm-hmm. Something I tried to figure out. And then accessing.
He's gonna see the top 5 cards.
That's gonna be so painful. That's gonna be so painful. Oh, he sees a House of Knives there.
Yeah. If he has a Mad Dash, he might actually win the game, but not.
The snare, 2 hedge funds, and a Neural MP. So would you score the House of Knives? Would you go in there one more time to get the House of Knives?
He's thinking about this, and I think he knows that there's a Mirage in front of R&D.
Yeah, he has to expect it.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you kind of have to force the rest at some point.
Yeah.
But do you do it right now? But why did he play indexing if he knew that there was a Mirage in front of R&D?
Yeah, that's maybe he had some solution for this. I don't know. Maybe he does have a scavenge, so he can put the fem on it.
That's true. That would actually be a very good way to deal with the Mirage. Bypassing it has been proving to be very effective all day. He's thinking about this a little bit.
So if he has a scavenge on this, let's think this out. If he has a scavenge on this and he runs again and the Mirages gets stressed, then he can just go to the archives. Can he jack out before he accesses archives?
I don't remember the exact text on Miraju. I think he's able to. If there's an ice in front of archives, he encounters it.
Yeah.
But there is no ice in front of archives right now.
So I guess he would just go straight to whatever he wants to.
But if he does it with Femme Fatale, he can actually bypass it.
Yeah. But if he use the Femme now, then I guess Jan is also thinking himself. We're not the only ones stumped by this development of events.
This is definitely not an easy game.
Nope.
This is a game that requires a lot of thinking.
Yep. Very, very much thinking about the long term. Jan is assuming a more comfortable position that maybe allows him to. And we have Marcellus here opening another beer. Is that a wise decision, Marcellus? Since you're still he says yes. All right.
He's definitely not feeling the pressure, and neither are these two players. Or if they are feeling the pressure, they are hiding it quite well. I think they look relatively relaxed from the way we're sitting. They're just thinking about it, and why wouldn't they? Like, there's no rush.
Well, there's no rush. Well, Jan is almost about to win, so now make no mistakes, Jan. This is you have to think about this. So he has two options. He either gets the House of Knives, but that actually won't make him win the game. If he has a Mad Dash on hand, he would try to go for a Mad Dash, but
the problem with Mad Dash is if that doesn't work, he'll take damage, and taking damage is something. I mean, it won't be like a game loss, but it's not something he wants to do at this point. No. Like, every damage counts.
He could, of course, go for the score, just regular good old score. So he gets the fan site that he installed there because he didn't score it yet for some reason. I don't know why. But he already has a fan site there, so he actually doesn't need it probably.
I don't know what he would even get with the fan side at this point. Would he just sell it for more credits, or would he get a specific card with
He
it?
could go for a fan site into a levy, for example. That might be a good play. And then the second fan site, he could go for to actually fish out the feedback filters.
Oh, that would actually be a very good play. Still thinking about this.
I'm amazed that Rooeibot didn't arc lock down the feedback filter. Okay, so we have now the decision from Jan. Ah, there we go. I told you.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. There it is.
He called it. He knew it was a Miraju. Now he scavenges
Oh
the
my
fan.
gosh! And now he goes for the win.
Yeah.
There we go.
This is a win right here.
This is the go. Mad dash, using the fan side to do the mad dash. Of course, the solution was right there. You just had to think a little bit.
Yeah.
And now even the Resident Mirage won't do any difference. 2 cards on hand. One of them is the Levy, but that doesn't make any difference, dog. It's gonna be 2 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Skip it
Nope.
for 1.
Skip it. Take 1
One
damage from the Kakugo and score the win.
GG. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hit the levy. Doesn't matter at this point.
And there we go.
Good game.
Good game. So what was your impression from this game so far?
If I had been the Hayley player, I would have shit a brick for sure.
Yep.
But
Or
I think or two. But he played it out very well. I think he made all the right decisions, especially at the end. We called it. He just scavenged the fam onto the Miraju.
Really good solution.
He knew it was there. He played around it, and he played it beautifully. I don't think he should have done anything else different.
Absolutely, very, very smooth
Very well
play.
played.
Even though he had bad luck with the feedback filter, he recovered very well. But also, I thought Rooeibot was also playing this really nicely. You can tell that he's very experienced with this deck. He knew exactly what to do. He had his priorities right. He tried to be more aggressive early on, but I guess he didn't really see the card draw that he wanted to have. He got out the Obakata early on. I really liked that one, and he was actually in a good spot to get the second one out. But Jan just randomly ran on that card. That sometimes like Jinteki is this way, where it's like people just randomly run on something, and of course it's your agenda.
That's one of the things I've always liked about Netrunner, like these very ballsy, very random plays. They can really bite you in the ass, but they can also pay you off so well, and that's one of the things that happened in this game, and I really liked that play. It was ballsy, but it paid off.
Very Jinteki kind of game, and very Netrunner kind of game, where anything is possible. And of course, everything is still possible in this Top Cut, so join us on the next game, where we're gonna go into the round 3 of the Top Cut. See you in a bit.
Hike the planet! Hike the planet!
Shut up and get in the car!
Shit on me.